Hello, hello, hello. It's your boy Rocky,
Boy Mello,
and welcome to another episode of Candy
Candy
Swag
Swag,
Book
Book
Reviews
Reviews,
and
and
more.
more.
And today we have another special guest, Miss Lisa
Miss
Gilliard.
Lisa.
And meet Miss Lisa, a great writer and successful published author, a Black Authors Award winner in 2024, a motivational speaker, a sought after moderator, an educator, an avid volunteer for her community and her church, and all around a motivational and inspiring person. Meet Miss Lisa Gilliard. Take a look.
We just read Kindness Confetti. My favorite part is be respectful because if they if we be nice to them, the others, they will be nice to us.
My favorite part is encourage others because, you got this, you can do it.
So, hi, Miss Lisa. How are you doing today on this lovely afternoon?
Hey guys, I am fantastic. It's Wednesday. We are halfway through the week, only two more school days left, and it will be Thanksgiving break.
Cannot wait.
Me neither.
Me either.
Especially mac and cheese.
Turkey. But
Turkey and
so let's get
dressing.
this. Gonna ask you a few questions. First
Sure.
question is, what inspired you to be a writer?
What inspired me to be a writer? That's a great question. So, I would say working with kids and just seeing them struggling to navigate through life, just uh, I just wanted to be able to help them some kind of way to understand which direction that they needed to go
Yeah,
to have a great life ahead of them, or what would or at least bring to their attention what would not be a good
yeah,
direction for them to go. And so I wanted to instill the love of reading in these children as well. And so why not give them those life lessons in a book?
yeah,
And it worked. And so lots of the kids that I share my book with tend to really like it.
yeah. And I really like it too.
Me
Even,
too.
Yeah.
at my age.
Yeah, even all the writing, it's very inspirational.
So you're an
Thank you.
educator. Please tell
Yeah.
us about that.
Well, let me see. I lost track of my years back there. Um, I think I am on year
Mhm.
22, I
Wow.
think, of being an educator. It goes all the way back to 2005. So maybe, I don't know, you might have to do the math on all of that. But I think I'm on 20 or 22. Well, maybe not quite 20 or 22. I'm ahead of the game, because it won't be 20 until next year.
Wow.
So I'm like 19 years in. So there you go. See, this is why I did reading and not math.
Yeah, I don't like math either. But
I know it. But I started out as a classroom teacher, teaching second grade and then teaching first grade for several years, teaching third grade for 1 year, and I really wasn't feeling third grade. So I was like, give me back my second grade and my first grade babies where
Yeah,
I can continue to help teach them how to read.
yeah.
man,
That's very great. And
yeah,
this book teaches a lot of that stuff, like how you were saying in the beginning. It helps guide them in a way that can be put into a book,
yeah,
Hmm.
and not in like a boring way because kids, they like to have fun, and I feel like
Exactly.
this teaches them in a fun way and in a safe way.
man. So, what was your inspiration on writing Kindness Confetti?
Mhm.
Well, I think again, it kind of goes back to my time that I was spending with children and just noticing that sometimes kids can be mean to other kids. And that really, it didn't surprise me because I remember experiencing that when I was a kid, but I guess I was disappointed that it was
Yeah,
still taking place, that that part of life had not gotten better. And so I felt like that just in my time with spending with kids and things that they would get into trouble for. It really came down to them using their soft skills and their social skills the correct way. I just know in my heart that they know those skills, because I feel certain that mom or grandma, grandpa, or dad, somebody has taught them that, at home from at a very young age. And so I feel like it's down in there somewhere. It just may need, some pulling out of them. And so I felt like, again, it was, those social skills were missing, soft skills were missing. And the big thing that I saw missing was just the fact that they weren't being kind to each other. And so I just believe in what the title says, kindness confetti. I believe in throwing around kindness as if it's confetti. And if you're familiar with confetti, confetti flies all over the place and it travels like crazy. So why not spread some kindness the way that confetti spreads?
No, you were interested in educating.
Well, I'd say as a child, as early as maybe like 8, 9, 10 years old, I knew I wanted to be a teacher. My mom and my sisters and my brothers can tell you about that. I used to have all my dolls and my stuffed animals would be on the bed,
Yeah.
and I would use um, the we used to get these things called coupons that came in the newspaper. I don't even know if coupons even still exist anymore, but they used to come in the Sunday paper. And
Yeah.
so I would take the coupon section and I would like pull it apart and stuff, and put a sheet in front of the dolls, in front of the stuffed animals, as if they were working on a skill sheet, and stuff. And I would be up front, teaching them how to do the skill sheet. And so I'd say being an educator goes as far back as like 8, 9, 10 years old, with me wanting to do something in the education field.
Oh, that's
Mm.
amazing.
Yeah, it really is. But what is your writing process like?
Can you say that again?
What is your writing process like?
What is my writing process? Well, my thoughts, what is really interesting is that my thoughts tend to hit me at some of the most inconvenient times.
Yeah.
Usually, I don't have anything around me to write on or anything, or I don't have my phone with me, where I can type it in real quick or whatever. So throughout my house, there's several, you'll find little sticky note pads, like just in random places, so that in the event that I am washing dishes or something, in the drawer, there's a pad of sticky notes. I can just grab them out, excuse me, grab them out, grab a pencil, jot it down.
Yeah.
Next to my bed on my nightstand, there's a notepad. I can just grab it, jot down some things, if
Yeah.
it's something that comes to me as I'm getting ready to fall asleep or just reflecting on the day. When I'm sitting on the sofa in the living room, I could be watching a TV show and it'll be like an aha moment for something, and I'll just grab a sticky note that's on the coffee table, start writing and stuff. So there's like sticky notes and notepads all through the house, to be quite honest with you, because I never know when I'm going to get an idea. And even in the car, I have a notepad. I've been known to have to just pull over on side road and jot something down, and then get back on the road and keep going. But, that's pretty much my process of trying to gather my thoughts together, and then when I can sit down and just breathe, just relax and stuff, and I can kinda pull it all back together, go
Yeah.
back and get those sticky notes, pull it back together, and we're good to go. There's, sometimes I will find a sticky note, like, here on the table, and it'll say something, and I'll be like, I wonder what that was about. And but then it'll eventually come to me that, oh, that's what that was. That's what,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that goes in this stack of sticky notes over here, So yeah, I just try to keep all my notes together as much as I possibly can. And
Yeah.
then when I can just sit down and put it all together, then I start typing it up on my laptop.
Yeah, and that's a good idea to have, like when you have random thoughts that you just have your phone and your notebook right beside you at all
Yeah.
times because you never
Oh,
know when it's gonna pop in your head.
Yeah.
yes.
What is a good day at school, or what do you consider a good day at school for you?
A good day at school is one where I don't have to send anyone to in-school suspension.
Yeah,
I don't have to write a referral for a
yeah.
student's inappropriate behavior. Um, Students come in the morning positive and ready to just roll throughout the day, and they maintain that positivity all throughout the day. Students, hop out the car in the car line. Good morning, Miss Gilliard. And I'm like, good morning, and they're just as excited to be there as I am, and I can say, hey, we're going to have a good day today, right? And it's not a, well, I don't know. We're going to have a good day today, right? Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. So that helps get them mentally prepared and know that somebody's watching them.
Yeah,
That you said you were going to have a good day.
yeah,
So I'm holding you accountable to that. Um, Anytime the kids are just super excited, at the end of the day, as excited at the end of the day as they were at the beginning of the day, I'd say that's a good day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like how
Yeah.
you can build them up to have an amazing day, even if they're
Hmm.
not morning people, or if they just want to go home. Then I mean, they always have Miss Lisa
Yeah.
to
There you go. Here I
hype
am.
them
I'm gonna come through and like poke them.
up.
Let's get back on
But
track.
are there any more children's books on the way?
Well, I'm so glad you asked because yes, I have one that is in the works right now as we speak. It is with, I'm sorry, I keep hitting the table. It is with my illustrator right now. I actually plan on reaching out to her later this evening and find out where we are. We have our hard deadline coming up for the pages being illustrated. She's shared the book cover with me and the first couple of pages of the book that she's completed. She's already shared that with me, and it is looking really, really good.
That's great.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see another book. No.
Exactly. It's book two from the Kindness Confetti series.
Oh
And so
wow.
I'm excited about it, and hopefully it will be, prayerfully, it's going to be up and running by
Mhm.
mid-December.
So, do the students at your school know about your book?
Some of them do. Not all of them are aware of the book. As a matter of fact, one student discovered just today that I wrote a book when she saw it in one of my coworkers' office, and it was sitting on his uh the bookshelf. And it was like, what is that thing where you put books? It was on his bookshelf, and how you guys have that one propped up on your table there. His is propped up like that on his bookshelf. And she walked in and she was like, that's your name. Miss Gilliard, I didn't know you wrote a book. Like, are you famous? And I was like, why, yes, I am famous. I'm as famous as you want me to be. And so she was just so excited to find that out today that
Yeah,
I have written a book.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
There are
amazing.
some that are aware of it, and
Yeah,
last school year, our media specialist purchased a copy of it for our media center,
yeah,
and she shared the book with our students, and I didn't realize that. And
yeah,
so some of the kids were coming to me, like at the end of the day, "Oh, Miss Gilliard, I love your book. I want to get a copy of your book." And I'm like, "How did you know that I have a book?" And they're like, "Oh, Miss Dalton read it to us today." And I'm like, and some of these kids were eighth graders, and those eighth graders were like, it was a really good book. And
yeah,
so I said, oh, you're just saying that because it's me, and you just want to make me feel good. And they were like, no, it really is a good book. And I'm like, what? So okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. So yeah, a few of them know. But I am working on getting the word out there so that all of them know.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing, and I 10 out
Yeah.
of 10 do recommend this
Yeah.
book.
Man, it's good. Good book. But what do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I like to take photographs. I like to
Yeah,
do videos of just about like anything. I literally just put a video together
Yeah,
yesterday in less than 24 hours and sent it out to my school staff. It's for United Way, to
yeah,
kick off our United Way campaign. And it took what I felt like a lot of time to get the video pieces together. But once I had everything together, I was just able to pull it off my phone and drop it in CapCut and just
yeah,
slide it all together, cut and paste some things,
yeah,
put in some titles and stuff, and it was good to go. So I
yeah,
like doing videos, and I'm learning more about the terminology to use when shooting videos and stuff because I tend to just call things like what I would call it or whatever,
yeah,
and it's like people will look at me like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Okay, that is clearly not what that's called. Okay. So let's regroup. Let me get my vocabulary together. But I do like doing videos. I like taking photos. I love just checking out podcasts, that are positive and motivational and inspirational to
yeah,
help me with my podcast that I also have
yeah,
to encourage me along the way too. So, um, I like to read, but I
yeah,
like to read motivational things. I like to read things that are encouraging, daily devotionals, things to that I can just a little nugget that I can take with me throughout the day and just be good to go.
yeah.
So those are a few things I like. Being outside in my flower garden.
Oh,
I love yard work. I know that sounds weird to a lot of people. Like, you like yard work? Yeah. Up until like just this past summer, I was still mowing my own grass. Now I have someone else that mows my grass for me.
yeah,
And honestly, I feel kind of empty and
yeah,
maybe a little bit sad because I was like, I enjoyed that. But it's that thing called time.
yeah.
I just don't have that time. And Mickey Mouse is trying to tell me what time it is.
So, what do you absolutely love about your book, Kindness Confetti?
What do I love about it?
Yes, ma'am.
I love that it hits specific areas to talk about. It
Yeah,
talks about like being a good friend because I see a lot of students, even now with me being going from elementary to middle school. In
yeah,
elementary school, it was almost like, I don't know that kids really put a lot of stock in making friends, in elementary school because they could literally be with a different friend every single day and just be good to go. Whereas in middle school, it means more to them about who their friends are, what those friends think of them, how to go about selecting them. And so I've noticed that just in the last 2 years that I see friends that are selecting friends for the wrong reasons, or they are picking friends that are not good for them. And so in the book where I talk about, being a good friend, I try to give them some tips of things of like what to look for in a friend, steer clear of those who are toxic, friends that don't want you to be friends with anybody else. They want you to
yeah,
be just their friend. That's scary. Get away from that. And I like being able to talk to kids and explain that to them that that's
yeah,
not good. You need to be allowed to have as many friends as you want, and no one should be upset about that. I
yeah,
talk about just looking for kids that maybe you wouldn't typically, become friends with.
yeah,
Have a nice variety of friends,
yeah,
friends who may have a disability or something.
yeah,
Meet up with them, talk to them. I mean, you don't have to be their BFF or anything like that, but at
yeah,
least be someone that child can say, "Hey, I know him," or "Hey, I know
yeah.
her," and stuff like that, to help make them feel
That's
good.
amazing.
Because sometimes our friends who have a disability, may be a little shy or standoffish and not readily open to becoming friends with someone because they
Yeah,
feel like people are going to pick on them and things. And so I
yeah,
think that encouraging people to be friends with someone that you may not typically, walk up and be a
yeah,
friend with, that's a good thing. Go ahead and branch out. The more
Yeah.
the merrier. It helps you to be more well-rounded and to be more accepting of people and not so rigid and so just structured as to this is how this has to be. I only like girls that have curly hair, or I only like girls that have straight hair, or I only like boys, that are at least 5'3.5" or something like
Yeah.
that. Branch out.
Yeah. I like that. We think the world of you, Miss Lisa. Thank you for being
Oh,
here.
well, think the world of y'all.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, any inspirational words for those out there?
Inspirational words, man, I am all about inspirational words. I said something to every, well, okay, let me back up. So every morning at our school, we have a morning assembly, and
Mhm.
all of our students are gathered around. Well, they're in the gym, in their bleachers, or in the chairs, or wherever they sit. And so myself, my principal, and our other assistant principal, the three of us usually are the ones that lead the assemblies. And it starts off with, the normal Pledge of Allegiance, moment of silence, and then we
Yeah.
go right into our vision statement for our school. And it is to empower ourselves so that we will be able to empower others. And so for a while, I was like, I don't know if maybe they know what the word empower means. And so throughout the year, we've been having different activities and stuff, assignments where they can earn house points, to talk about different ways that they can empower others and how they themselves can be empowered. Because to me, I'm like, you can't go empower somebody else until
Yeah.
you're empowered.
Yeah.
So I want them to learn how to be empowered and how to go out and share that with other people. So I focus a lot when I'm leading the assemblies. I focus a lot of my empowerment around being kind, being respectful of others. I remind children all the time that it is not a requirement of mine that you be friends with everybody at school. But what is my requirement is that you respect each other. You
Yeah.
respect them for who they are, for their differences that may be, something other than what you would believe in and things. And so a couple of weeks ago, right after the election,
Mhm.
I just felt like there was like some unrest that was going on, within the school. And so I just wanted to nip it in the bud. And so I was very careful with my wording, and I explained to them that there's a new leader that has been named, and that's it. That if it may not have been who you wanted to be the leader, but guess what? The vote says this is who the leader is going to be. And
Mhm.
because it may not be the person that you wanted it to be, you are not going to belittle or ridicule or make anybody feel less than because the person who won may be someone that they did not vote for.
Yeah.
We're not going to walk around boasting and bragging about this, because I wrapped it up with saying, I know who made this day. I'm going to rejoice in it and be glad, and I suggest you follow suit. So
Mhm.
that would be my inspiration for all those that are out there, is to know who made this day and be glad in it and rejoice in it, and invite others to do the same for you.
Thank you, Miss Lisa.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And everybody, Miss Lisa Gilliard. And remember, determination makes you successful. Hello.
And there's always, always, always something to be grateful for.
I
Peace.
love it.